You just left a conversation, and you're not just tired, you're simmering with silent resentment. You realize you agreed to a project you hate, stayed an hour longer than you wanted, and bit your tongue so hard it hurt. If you know that unique, quiet struggle, the cost of being the person who is simply too nice, too accommodating, and too polite, then you already know what we're about to get into. We are not talking about basic manners here. We are talking about that split-second automatic reflex to say yes when your entire body is screaming no. That constant internal editing process where you soften every statement, avoid any whiff of disagreement, and prioritize the comfort of everyone else in the room over your own integrity and peace. This isn't kindness, it's self-abandonment. If that deep, exhausting cycle sounds familiar, this video is for you. We are going to dissect the silent contract we make when we choose politeness over authenticity. And I'll share 3 powerful, gentle ways to swap the exhaustion of being nice for the freedom of being kind and clear. Let's be clear, this isn't a personality flaw. This pattern of choosing politeness over peace stems from the very things that make you a sensitive introvert in the first place.
But that is not justice.
You need to understand the internal mechanisms at play to truly change them. It often comes down to 3 powerful internal drivers, and they are rooted deep in your need for calm and connection. First, let's talk about conflict. For most people, a disagreement is just a rough patch in a conversation. For us, it's intensely stimulating. Because you are so highly attuned to social harmony and environmental energy, an awkward silence or a whiff of disagreement isn't just uncomfortable, it's an instantaneous energy drain. So, what do? You choose the easiest path, the polite, agreeable path, as a preventive measure. You're simply trying to ward off stimulation and protect that coveted, calm internal space. Then there is the deep desire to be understood and accepted. Since we spend so much time observing and analyzing the world, we desperately crave genuine connection. Unfortunately, we often fall into the subtle trap of believing that being consistently nice and agreeable is the non-negotiable prerequisite for earning that acceptance. When you are constantly seeking that deep connection, being too nice becomes a sneaky form of people-pleasing.
Wow! You nailed it.
Driven by the very real fear of rejection or being misunderstood. And finally, the time factor, internal processing. As introverts, we need time to process thoughts, feelings, and boundaries before we can articulate them. When a request comes in, our system defaults to the quickest, safest social script, the polite yes, simply because we haven't had the moment we need to formulate an honest, nuanced boundary. By the time the true feeling catches up, the moment to say no gracefully has passed, and we have already committed ourselves. This chronic over-politeness, driven by protection, fear, and processing speed, creates a quiet, exhausting emotional contract that you sign with the world every day. It's the feeling that says, I will make myself smaller and easier to manage so that you don't have to experience a single moment of discomfort. Now, I want to emphasize that the goal here is not to suddenly become rude, difficult, or confrontational. That's just swinging to the other extreme. The real goal is quiet, powerful shift. Moving from being nice, which is focused on external appearance, to being kind and clear, which is focused on genuine respect both for yourself and for others. This is a muscle you have to build. So let's look at 3 gentle, actionable shifts you can start practicing today. This is your most powerful tool. When someone asks you for your time, your energy, or a major commitment, you must resist the urge to answer immediately. Why? Because that moment of silence is your sacred ground. That's the only time your internal processor can catch up. Train yourself to use neutral, pre-approved buffer phrases. Something simple like, let me check my calendar and get back to you by the end of the day. Or, that sounds like a lot. Let me think about that for an hour. This removes the pressure of the immediate yes and buys you time you need to formulate an honest, guilt-free response. Remember, no good decision is made under duress. The language of over-politeness often frames our boundaries as external failures. I can because I'm too busy, which is usually an exhausting lie. Or I can because my phone died. This language makes you feel powerless and responsible for someone else's feelings. Instead, reframe the internal narrative first. I am choosing to protect my necessary solitude right now. Or, I choose to prioritize my own rest. When communicating this to others, you can be clear without needing to over-explain or lie. Try something direct like, thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. Or simply, I'm going to take this evening for myself. Your choice is a full valid sentence. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on your free time. To build the muscle of authenticity, you need to start small. Don't jump straight into saying no to a huge request. Instead, look for low-stakes opportunities. For example, when someone asks where you want to eat and you secretly hate the first suggestion, gently offer your actual preference. I'm not really feeling Italian tonight. How about Thai place instead? Or if a movie is put on that you genuinely dislike, gently suggest another option. These are tiny moments of gentle honesty that teach your nervous system a critical lesson. Disagreement is manageable, survivable, and often leads to a better outcome for everyone involved. We have spent years believing that politeness is a currency, that being agreeable is the only way to earn acceptance. But here's the most important takeaway of all. Your worth is not measured by your agreeableness. It is measured by your integrity and your genuine presence. Think about the incredible cost of this pattern. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you are not just losing an hour of time. You are systematically leaking your life energy. When you stop expending that enormous effort managing everyone else's potential discomfort, you finally free up that energy to be used for your own inner life, your creativity, and the deep, meaningful connections with the people who truly love you for who you are, not for what you agree to do. This is the shift. True kindness is acting with good intent, and sometimes the kindest thing you can do for both yourself and for others is to set a clear, firm boundary. Don't be the person who is nice to everyone else but is quietly cruel to themselves. Don't sacrifice your peace for a moment of fleeting social comfort. Choose clarity, choose peace, choose your authentic self. The world doesn't need another over-polite person. It needs you. Whole, honest, and energetic. Now, if this video resonated with you, I want you to do one thing. Commit to your pause. In the comments below, I want you to share just one go-to buffer phrase, that neutral statement you're going to use the next time you feel the pressure to say yes immediately. It could be, I'll check my calendar, or let me think on that. Share it below. Let's make this shift towards authentic kindness together.